Okay, so thank you for joining us for today's webinar. Today's webinar is on how Quantum Cloud helps simplify the Forms E and ES2. My name is Pippa. I do customer engagement here at Class Legal, and I will just be sitting here in the background, making sure that everything's going smoothly. Neither of us are muted when we should be talking. Our cameras are all working, everything like that. Daisy will be delivering the demo for you. Daisy is our customer management, no, she's not. She's the account manager and the training specialist here at Quantum Cloud, and she will be delivering the demo for you today. So I will pass it on over to Daisy.
Hello everyone, thank you, Pippa. So my name is Daisy, thank you for joining us with the session today. I look after all of the quantum accounts here at Class Legal and any demonstrations and training sessions of Quantum Cloud. If anybody ever books in any of those, it will most likely be myself that will be delivering them to you. So for today's session, we're going to be looking at the Form E and also the ES2. I am going to turn my camera off to deliver the session so that I can share my screen with you. So I'm just going to do that now. So I've got my camera off. I'm going to share my screen with you. Hopefully, what you can all see on screen now is Quantum Cloud. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to open up my case for today's session. We'll bring up the Form E. Okay, so before we do start with the Form E, I wanted to show you our case information. You will find your case information at the top of the screen. So this is beside your case name. So we can see here at the top in the blue banner. You will need to click the drop down arrow and the tabs will appear below. We do recommend entering your case information details prior to completing your forms, as the data entered here will auto-filter into the relevant sections of the forms for you. So if we can see here in the Our Client tab, you can see that I've entered in my client's details. So I've got their name here, I've got their address and their contact details as well. Now, if we go into our Form E, so you will find the Form E on the left-hand side of the screen here, and you will just click to open it up. And what we can see when we're in our Form E is that the data is actually here already for me. So you can see I've got my client's name here. If I go into section 1, for example, as well, you can see I've also got my dates pulled through as well for me. You will also see this blue link symbol here. So you'll see that throughout multiple sections of your form. So you can see another one here. What this signifies is that the data showing here has been pulled through from the case information tabs. So this will be things such as your names, addresses, dates and case numbers, all things like that. And by putting them into the case information prior to your form, it's going to save you some time. You're not having to repetitively enter the same data multiple times. Within your case information, we do also have an exchange rates tab. So if we just look further along the tabs here, you will come to exchange rates. In Quantum Cloud, you can work in multiple currencies, but you do just need to add them into your case when you need them. So to do so, you would click the Add button. So you see we've got this Add button here on screen. We would click that, and then that will bring up a data entry screen for you, where you would choose your currency from the drop-down list here. So we would make our selection from the list. You will see that Quantum will then provide you with an abbreviation and also the exchange rate. This exchange rate is taken from openexchangerates.org, and then you will also find as well the date in which you are adding it. So you would then click OK, and then you will see that this has then added it into your list of exchange rates. The conversion rate will remain as it was the day that you added it into your case. So if you do need to update it ready for submitting your form, for example, you would just need to come back into your exchange rates tab, open up your currency, which you can do so by highlighting and clicking the modify button. And then what you will see is a refresh button to the right-hand side of your date. When you click that refresh button, you will see that it's updated the date to today, and it has also updated the exchange rate as well for you. So you'd click OK to save those changes, and then that has now been updated for you. Okay, so let's get into the Form E now then. So as I mentioned, you will find your forms on the left-hand side of the screen here. And to open up your form, you would simply click the form name, and then that will then open up the tabs within for you. The Form E in Quantum Cloud is our most used form, and we have designed this form to be highly flexible. It is a series of data entry fields, like all of the forms in Quantum Cloud, in which you will see an add button, you'll see a modify button, a clipboard button, and also a delete button as well. The add button, when you click that, it will bring up the data entry screen for you. So this will then allow you to start to enter in the case data. The modify button will allow you to make any changes or any edits to anything you have already added. So you would highlight your line, click the modify button, and then that will bring up your data entry screen again for you. The clipboard button, this will allow you to copy the data in which you see on screen and paste it into another document, so Word or Excel, wherever you want that to be. And then you also have a delete button as well, which will allow you to completely delete anything you no longer need. And if I just go and click into a couple of other sections of the form here, so if I go into bank accounts, into investments, you will see that those add, modify, clipboard, and delete buttons are all there for you as well. You do also have a lot of additional information text boxes within each of the forms sections. So this is just allowing you to add any additional information where required. So you will see here at the bottom, you can add your additional information text in here, and you'll find these at the bottom of each form sections. Excuse me. This text will then show at the relevant page sections. So if I just go to print or download a form now and show you a print preview, when you come to the bottom of your form sections, you will see any additional information text appear here. So I'll just highlight that. Is it going to let me highlight it in blue there? So you would see it there at the bottom of your form. Okay, so I'm just going to close that down. And we're back into the main section of our screen. So whilst we're in the property section, what I wanted to show you in here is that when you add in your properties, you can actually choose whether the property is a matrimonial home or other, and it will keep all of your sums and your calculations separate for you. So when you come to add in a property, by clicking the add button, the very first option you will see is the heading matrimonial home. And what you can do is choose from here, from the drop down arrow, whether the property is a matrimonial home or not. So I'm going to select yes in this case. The next option that you have is the property name and address, which again, you have the drop down selection of. So if I hit that drop down arrow, what you will see appear here is any of the addresses that you have already entered into your case information tabs. So you can make your selection from here, and you will see that then has automatically put that in the address box for you. Of course, if it isn't one of those addresses, this box is editable, so you can type in the required address. We'll then keep working down each section where you can complete the data on this property. You can choose here how the property is owned, again, using the drop-down option, so you can select whether it's solely owned, whether it's jointly with spouse. And then when you've made that selection, you'll see that the details of ownership, the notes there have automatically pulled through for you, which you can update and make amends to if you need to. As we continue scrolling down, here, you'll be able to enter in a property value. So I'm going to enter a property value into here now. And then as we get a little bit further down, you will see you can then select your client's share of the ownership. And then to the right-hand side, you will see that Quantum Cloud has automatically worked out your client's share of that property value. You can manually change this as well. So if you update that, so let's pop 45% in there, you will see that straight away the client share updates. If we continue to scroll down, that will be the same for you for your cost of sales estimate. Again, you will enter in your client's share of that, and Quantum Cloud has automatically given you your client's share. And you can also add any mortgages to your properties as well. So you've got the add button here underneath mortgages. When you click that add button, you'll see that that section will appear underneath for you to just work through, enter in your mortgage details, so the name, the type of the mortgage. You'll enter in here the balance that's outstanding on the mortgage. And then once again, Quantum will give you the client's share of the balance. And that's the same also for any penalties. And then right down at the bottom, what you will see is a running total of the equity in this property, along with a total of your client's share in that equity. And then when you click OK, you will see that that property has now been added onto the main screen for you. You will also have underneath as well, you'll be able to see two running totals. So you'll have two separate total amounts of the interest in your properties. The first one here in section A, which will be for your matrimonial properties. And then you'll have the second one here in section B for the interest in all other properties outside of that matrimonial home. I'll just print preview that as well for you. So if I just give you a quick print preview of how it would look on your downloaded form, you will find matrimonial properties on the first page in section 2.1. And if we just scroll down to the second page, you'll see all other properties on page 2 in section 2.2. So we'll just come back out of there. And we'll move on to have a look now in bank accounts. So I'm going to click into section 2.3 here. As I mentioned earlier in the session, you can work in multiple currencies on your form. So I'll just demonstrate now for you how we can pick up those currencies when we need to. So if I just go in to add an overseas bank account here by clicking the add button, I'll type in the account name here, and you can give it an account number. You can choose if this account is joint with the other party or not by selecting yes or no. If you do select yes, what you will see appear in the name box is the name of the other party that you entered into the case information. You can obviously delete that if it's joint with somebody else, for example. Then what you will get to is the balance section. So to the left-hand side of here, what you will see is another drop-down option showing Great British Pounds. Quantum is auto set to Great British Pounds, but if you hit that drop-down arrow, you will be able to pick up your required currency. The currencies that you will see in this list are those that you have added into the exchange rates tab up in your case information. Once you've made your selection, you can then enter your amount into the box. So we'll type that in. And then what you will see here is the converted amount underneath. So you will be able to see the Great British Pounds amount underneath your euros amount in this case. We'll click OK, and that has now added that bank account into my list of accounts. And again, if I just show you a print preview of how that will appear on your form, what you will see here, so we've got our overseas account now added. Into the balance column, you will see that you've actually got your amount here in Great British Pounds, along with the amount in euros and that conversion rate as well. So we'll just close that one down as well now. And we'll continue working through the sections of the Form E. And we'll come to section 2.18 here, which is state benefits. You can add any state benefits into this section of the form. You can see here, I've already got one added, and add any more, you would do the same by clicking that add button, which will bring up the data entry screen for you to work through and enter in your client's data. A state pension can automatically be added into this section of your form by choosing yes from the drop-down option here at the top. So where it says add state pension, if you hit that drop-down arrow and change it to yes, you will see here that it has now been automatically added into your list of state benefits. You can modify that if you need to. So you can see that the line is highlighted. I can use my modify button to bring up the data entry screen where it can actually make amends to the amount. And you can also make amends to the frequency of payments as well by using the drop-down option. We'll click OK, and then that will bring us back to the main screen. If any child benefits are relevant to the case, and you need to get these added into section 2.18, you will need to add these in at section 1.10 of your Form E, which is where you will find the children's details. There is a little note here to just point you in the right direction. See, I've just highlighted that there, where it's just telling you child benefit is calculated at section 1.10. So we'll go to 1.10 now. So we'll just find that here within our form. And you'll see that this takes us to our children's details. What you will do is open up the details by clicking that modify button. And then when we scroll down, you'll see here you have the question of, does your client receive child benefit for this child? If we change that to yes and click OK, you'll see that now, when we go back to section 2.18, because Quantum is cloud-based, it has now updated that for you, and the child benefit has now been added into your state benefits section. If there are multiple children to the case, you would need to do that for each individual child, and then you will see that the amount received will reflect that as well. Okay. Moving on to the next section of the Form E that I wanted to show you, and that is section 2.20, your financial summary. You will see that when we're in here, as we've been adding our data into the Form E, all of your clients' assets and liabilities have been calculated for you, and all of that data has been pulled through into the financial summary. And you'll see that it's been broken down into the sections. So you don't need to come into here and do any manual calculations. Each section has all been pulled through and it's been totaled up for you as well. You'll see that actually at the right-hand side as well of each sum that you've got your additional information boxes as well. So if you need to elaborate on any of those figures, you can use those additional information boxes there. And then when we print preview the form, you will see that it's pulled everything through in a nice tidy table for you, and showing also any additional information as well. So the final part of the Form E that I wanted to show you today was our income needs section, which we will find in section 3 here and in 3.1.1. So here we are now in our income needs section. So we have actually designed this section of the form so that you can completely tailor it to your firm's and your own clients' individual requirements. I'll just start to scroll down the screen for you now, so you can see that the section of the form has been broken down into multiple different sections. So you'll see you've got your section first for the main house. You've also got a section here for other properties. We've got a section for food and household, clothes. It's a very large section of the form, but it has all been broken down into individual sections for you. To add your client's requirements in, you would simply just need to click into the relevant line box, and then you can enter in the client's figures like so. So you'll just work through and enter those numbers in. You can enter these into annually, monthly and weekly amounts as well. So you've actually got a drop down option here at the top. It's set at monthly, but you can change that to annual and weekly. And you'll actually see as well, you'll see I've entered my figures into monthly. However, if I change it to annual, you'll see that the figures automatically update for you. So it won't take it back to blank for you to have to work that out. It will do it automatically for you. If you need to add any additional lines within a section, so if there is something your client has a particular requirement for that's not already in here for you, you can do that by using the plus symbol. So you'll see some little icons to the right hand side of each item line, and your plus symbol, when you hit that, that will then allow you to add a new entry. So you can give it a name, pop your amount in, and when you click OK, you will see that that has now added that new entry within the section for you. You can rename any existing lines. So for example, where you've got mortgage installments, if you wanted to rename that to the mortgage provider's name, you can do that by hitting the pen icon. So I've hit that pen icon and you'll see that it's brought that data entry screen back up for me where you can go in and make any amendments to the name. You can also update any figures here as well. And then you can also delete any lines. So if there are any lines in here that aren't relevant to your client's case, you can completely remove them from the section by using the bin icon. So if we'll see, we've got nothing here in ground rent, so I'll use the bin icon. And then you'll see, once you confirm it, that that has completely removed that for you. And you can just repeat that wherever you need to, remove a line that isn't necessary to your client's case. We do, however, also have a delete empty fields button. So at the top here, you'll see you've got a delete empty button. You can use that button if you wanted to delete all empty fields in one go. So you'll see I've got quite a few empty boxes here. So I'm going to click delete empty. You'll just receive a message just saying, once you have used that button, everything will remove. I'm going to click delete, and then you'll see now that you are just left with those item lines with values in only. If you do find that you are having to actually remove the same lines all the time, or you're having to update item names all the time, or there's a particular template that you as a firm work to, we can actually upload that template, your own particular template, into Quantum Cloud. All you would need to do, if that's something that you would like to have happen, is just let us know, and we can arrange that for you, no problem. And then again, just down at the bottom of the form section, what you will see is a running total for you. So you'll have a running total of the monthly income needs, and then you'll also have an annual total of your client's income needs as well. Anywhere you do actually see monetary value throughout your Form E and throughout the whole of Quantum Cloud, if it is in a greyed out box like you see here at the bottom, this does signify that is as an auto sum, so you won't actually be able to make any edits to this particular figure. This has been pulled through from the individual figures that you've been entering into the lines and into the case details. And I'll just show you as well how that will show on your downloaded form. So I'll give you a quick print preview here, and you can see that it's put all of your clients' income requirements into a nice tidy table for you. Okay, so we'll move on now to show you how to print or download your Form E. So it's nice and easy. The print or download button can be found here underneath your name in the top right hand corner, and this will be in the same place no matter where you are in your form or throughout any of Quantum Cloud. So you would just simply click that print or download button, which will initially take you to a print preview of the current section of the form that you are working in. So in this case, we've got a print preview of the income needs table. You can change that in the scope section to view your entire form, or you can change that to view the entire form with any attachments. So if we click that, you'll see that it was now going to bring me up a print preview of the full Form E. Any attached documents will be visible right down actually at the bottom of your form. You can also adjust the watermarks for your Form E. You can have the word draft, or you can custom your own. You would just simply tick that box, type in here what you wish to be previewed over each page. And you can also update your footer settings as well by ticking the box options here. When you download your form, so I'll click that download button now, the Form E will go straight into your own PC's downloads folder as a PDF document, like so. Once it has been downloaded, the form won't be editable unless, of course, you have a PDF editing software. However, if you don't, and you do need to make any more edits to your Form E, you would just need to come back into Quantum Cloud, make those changes, and then re-download your form. You do also have the option as well to print a blank Form E and also download a blank Form E as well. If you have any supporting documents that you need to add to your case, these can be added into the Form E by attaching them into specific sections of your form. So these do need to be uploaded into PDF format. That's the only format that you can upload them into the program as. But these may be things such as bank statements, credit card statements, any pay slips, property valuation, things such as that. So if we take a look into our bank account section, and I'm going to open up this particular bank account here, so our savings account. What you will see at the top is you have a Dropbox option. And this is where you'll be able to actually attach and choose the document that you want to have in here. So I would click into the Dropbox. And this will then take you to view where you've got your documents and make your selection. So I want to upload this bank statement here. So I would highlight that, click open, and then you will see that this will then start to upload into the program. This will then attach it into that specific section of the form for you. And then what you will be able to do is then download the form and then view it with any attachments in one PDF document. Okay, so that was actually everything I wanted to show you on the Form E in today's session. If anybody does have any questions about the form, or there was anything in particular that you would like to see, please do leave them in the Q&A section, and we will get through as many of your questions as we can at the end of the session. But before that, I will now show you what Quantum Cloud has done with the ES2. So you will find your ES2 in the Tools section, which you will find right in the top right-hand corner beside your login name. So you will hit your drop-down arrow, and then you will see it here in your list. So I'm going to click in to the ES2. Once you are in here, you will firstly see a link to some guidance notes on completing your ES2. So if we click the link here, it will actually take you straight to some guidance notes. If we come back into Quantum Cloud, next what you will see is your ES2, which has been divided into all of your different sections. Again, there's a series of data entry tabs. So if we just start to scroll down, you see at the top, I've got properties, I've got bank accounts, investments, business assets, etc. And you've got your add, modify and clipboard button once again. So you can use your add button, which will bring up the data entry screen for you, where you can start to enter in your relevant data. However, if I just close that down, in the top right-hand corner of your screen, again, just underneath your login name, you will have an import button. When you click this import button, what will happen is all of the relevant data from the Form E, E1 and E2 will be pulled through into your ES2. So I'm going to confirm that that's what I want to happen by clicking the import button, and you will see now within those sections all of your case data, your client's data has actually now been pulled through. You can add more data into these sections if you need to by clicking that add button and then just manually filling out any additional data that you want showing in here. You can make any modifications to anything that's been pulled through, and you can remove anything as well that you don't want appearing on your ES2. But please just be aware that any changes that you do make at this point will not reflect in the Form E, so it won't go backwards. And once completed and you are happy with everything that you've got here in ES2, you will then be able to use your export button, which is next to the import button, again, right here in the top right-hand corner. And then what will happen when you click that export button is that all of the data will be exported out of Quantum Cloud and into an Excel document. So that's gone into my downloads folder, and I can now see that I can just open up my Excel document. Just let that open up so you can see what it will look like for you. So you can see now we've got an Excel document open for my ES2, of which you can then enable the editing on. What you will find in here, so along with all of your clients' data, you can see that that's all been pulled through here in my applicants box. You've got the respondent and you've also got joint there as well on the end. You will find the column for assets and liabilities held by each of the party, or as I say down here at the end, anything jointly owned. They are all divided in half. So you can see here we've got the two columns, which is then allowing space for each party to set out the numbers which they say make up those assets, liabilities, and the incomes of the case. Please just also do note that if you do make any amendments to any of the figures in this particular document, you will just need to auto update the sum by using your sum button. So you've got the sum button here in the banner at the top of Excel. So if you do make any amendments to any figures, you will just need to update it by using that sum button just to recalculate it. The ES2, you can then share this document here with the other party's solicitor for them to make their additions. However, you can also share the ES2 directly using Quantum Collaborate. And that concludes everything I wanted to show you on both the Forms E and the ES2 today. Pippa will now let me know any of your questions and I will answer them as best as I can.
Hello, yes, thank you, Daisy. That was great. So we have had quite a few questions come through. One of them is, can we submit the Form E as a voluntary document?
Yes, yeah, you absolutely can. So if I just take you back to the Form E now then, and you will actually be able to do this in the general section of the form. So I'm actually already here in the general section. When you come to a new case, the voluntary disclosure option will actually be set at no, but all you would need to do is change that to yes. So click the drop down arrow, and then once you change that to yes, what you will see underneath, I don't know if you noticed it, but the court details actually disappeared. So I'll just quickly show you that again. So you'll see it's set at no, and what you'll be able to see is a case number and the court address. When you change that to yes, it will take those options away for you. And then when you go to download your form, you'll see that it's also removed the court address from the downloaded form as well.
Great. So a few more questions coming through. Another one is, can we add any notes to the Form E?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can actually add, well, you can add notes to any section of your Form E. You'll actually have a notes tab at the top. So by the description name, so here where it says Form E, you've got your attachments button, your print or download button, and then you've got a notes tab just in between. So you can go into your form section and then just decide wherever it is you want to pop that note in. You will click the notes button at the top, and then you'll see to the right hand side a tab actually appears. Enter your notes into here. So I'll just type something in so you can see. You will then click the add button, and you will see that that has now saved that in here for you. And actually at the form section name, you'll now have like a little post-it note icon. If you can see that here by investment. So anywhere you add a note, that little symbol will appear. If you had a colleague, for example, that was working on the case for you while you're away or anything like that, and they will know that there are some notes there, as when they come into that section, they'll see the notes little icon, click on the notes tab, and then any notes will pop out again on the right hand side.
Lovely. We have had a question. Do you currently have that document uploaded into your Form E, Daisy?
Yes, so is that referring to when I tried to demonstrate how to attach a form into my Form E? The PDF. Yeah, I do. Yeah. So any documents that you have already uploaded into Quantum Cloud will actually appear in your document manager section, which you will find in tools. And I'll just quickly go into there now for you. So you would come into tools and then down to document manager. What you will see on screen now is any documents that you have attached into the sections of your Form E. So once you have uploaded them and attached them into each relevant section, you will be able to kind of see like a log of everything that you've uploaded, and you will find them here in Document Manager. And this is just where you'll be able to manage them. You'll be able to see obviously your file name, you'll be able to see when it was uploaded, and you'll also be able to see where it's actually been attached. So you've got a referenced in column here, and that's showing me that my document is attached into the bank account section for that particular NatWest bank.
Would we be able to see it in the print preview of the Form E, please? We've had that question as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I'll just go into the Form E now, and if I go to print or download, and go into entire form with attachment. So you'll just change the scope there at the top. When we now go down to the bottom of the Form E, we just scroll right down to the bottom. You will see any documents that you have attached, uploaded and attached, right down at the bottom of your Form E, so you can then download that as one whole PDF. The documents will always appear at the bottom of the Form E, but they will appear in order of sections. So, for example, a document for 2.1 will come first, followed by 2.2, 2.3, etc.
Thank you.
Okay.
We've had a few questions asking if they could have a closer look at Collaborate.
Okay. So Quantum Collaborate, just as a quick overview for anybody that doesn't know, Quantum Collaborate will allow you to share selected forms in Quantum Cloud with your clients directly, or other parties, solicitors, and in effect, they would get their own Quantum Cloud account where they can make edits to that shared form and then submit them back to you for review. And we don't really have time to go too much into detail on Collaborate today. However, we will run another webinar to go fully into detail on Quantum Collaborate. So as soon as we've got a date booked in for that, we will make sure that an email is sent out to everybody where hopefully you can join us again then.
Then I think we've got time for maybe one more question.
Yeah, lovely.
So we've had a question about how can we download Quantum Cloud?
Oh, okay. So you don't actually need to download Quantum Cloud. As the program is cloud-based, there is no installation required. You would log in using the Quantum Cloud URL via your web browser. You can therefore access this anywhere, on any device, wherever you are. And also, as it is cloud-based, all of the data that you are entering into your case, so as you're starting to fill out those fields, it is all been auto-saved. So if you are halfway through completing your form, you then have to come out of the case on your PC, but pick it up on a laptop at home, for example, you will find that all of the data has been auto-saved for you, and it was as you left it. Okay, all right. Look, perfect. So, as Pippa did say, that was actually all we had time for today. We are coming up to the end of our time. Let me just turn my camera back on. So hopefully you can all see me again now. But yeah, that's all we had time for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for the time. I will just hand back over to Pippa just to finalize things, but say thank you so much for your time. And Pippa, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining. I do know we have had quite a lot of questions come through, so if we didn't get a chance to answer your question on this webinar, we will pop you over an email to respond to your question. Yeah, if you do want to have a deeper look into Quantum Cloud, if you want to have a one-to-one look into different bits and bobs, we can arrange a demonstration. It will probably be with Daisy, so you just need to get in contact with us and we can easily get that sorted for you. But to let you all get back to your days, we hope you've enjoyed this webinar and we will be in touch with any further ones that we have coming up. And I hope you have a lovely long weekend. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.